Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Best Show Ever Pod, the podcast where I interview people about the best concerts they ever saw in their life. This week is a really fun week. This is the Long Strange week. We got Long Strange Niche and Long Strange Putt. This episode is the Long Strange Putt episode. If you've been following him on Instagram, he does great work. The guy's so funny. And we have become buddies over the last few months here. He was one of the first guys to share my stuff. And so we became boys. This is his cool shirt that you should buy off of his website when you look him up right now. But what happened with Sean, Long Strange Putt, or Putt, as we call him, he saw a really good show. And then he had other best shows happen after that show, after we recorded. Um, and so and then him and I saw a show together that might be my best show ever. And so we had to record another episode. We had to get him back on. So there is a first episode that of me and Sean that you will never see. It'll remain in the vault. It'll be gone forever. But this episode is really great. We get a chance to talk about our show together and his best shows. This is Sean Marmora from Long Strange Putt. And I'm going to stop my intro here. I'm going to cut this off so that we can have a little bit of music from none other than Jesus and Fartfinger.
This is the best show ever. This is the best show ever. This is the best show ever. This is the best show.
Best show I ever heard.
I think I'd have to agree. I mean, I like golf, but I don't golf. I'm not good.
Well, I do golf, or I used to golf until I got my golf club stolen in LA.
They got stolen?
It's like my second week in LA. I came out to my car and like there was no damage done to my car. All the doors were just open and the trunk was open and I had just moved into my place and the only thing that I had in my car was my golf clubs and my golf shoes. And I wasn't about to play and I don't know why they weren't in the garage, but there wasn't even like a dent in the car. I don't even know how they got in. It was just fully open. I was like, all right, well, that's not a cheap replacement. So,
Damn.
I
That
know,
sucks.
dude. I'd have to go rentals if I got in the golf outing, which I assume I'm just kind of inviting myself to the golf outing since you kind of just brought it up on the thing.
Yeah, we'll see if it happens. There's a very good chance. It's just like, actually, never mind. We got a guy.
All right. Well, keep me in mind. Keep me
Yeah.
top of mind.
Kyle's in for sure. He golfs. The shirt he was wearing.
All right. Well,
Was he just like hanging out at was he just hanging out at a golf course when we were like video chatting with him, or does he work at a golf course, or does he belong? Like, what's
Kyle,
just a golf guy?
Kyle, he's just a golf guy, dude. He's just a big golf guy. No,
Just
Kyle
one of
has
those guys who's
worked
always in a golf shirt.
he's just always like at a burger place in a golf shirt and some slacks, you know?
I got my clubs in the trunk if you want to play 9 something.
He's just hanging out at a Subway in some fucking slacks, flip-flops, and a golf shirt. No, Kyle has worked as a golf professional for the last like 4 or
Wow.
5 years here, and he works half of the year at a course in the suburbs of Chicago, the very wealthy suburb of Chicago.
These suburbs.
He works half the year in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Wow.
And I think he's going to go to Arizona full time now. But yeah, he's a golf guy. He's a golf pro. He's got a sweet swing. I still kick his ass, but he's a great player.
That's awesome.
I'll kick his ass
hold on,
for rentals, no problem.
Yeah, lefty rentals, righty rentals, doesn't matter. Still kick his ass.
It's really no problem for a guy like me. Are you like lifetime golfer?
I've been playing since I was pretty young, and then I played in high school. I was like the worst one on the team, but I was on the team. and then
Nice.
just kind of fell off in later years. But I still play like 2-3 times a year if I can.
Dude, high school golf was so sick because you could leave for a full day of school. Like you're just out because you gotta like travel an hour to the course and the round's gonna take 5 hours. So you're just out of school all day.
Yeah, and our practice was just like coach would drive up, be like, "All right, play golf on like these sick golf courses," and then he would just leave. We'd all just play golf and fuck around.
Yeah, my high school golf coach, awful golfer, great guy.
Same.
Great, great
That's how you
fucking guy.
become a high school golf coach. You don't need to be good at golf. Just a great guy.
You just gotta be able to walk up like when some high school kid is like losing his mind because he's getting an 11. You just gotta be like, it's all good, dude. You're good, dude.
I'll never forget, like, our coach would literally not watch practice, like, didn't know how good, like, half the team was. There was one day he just, like, stood on the green of this one hole. It was, like, a short par 4, and I drove it right in the middle and then just, like, darted one, like, 5 feet from the pin and made the putt. He was, like, the next day, like, put me in, like, the starting lineup, and then I just fucking blew it in the actual match.
It's like, what about that one shot, though? You
What
did that
happened to
one
that
shot. He's like, oh,
Yeah,
fuck, Marmora's like, good, dude.
He saw my one good hole, put me in.
Oh, shit, Marmora's like the truth, dude. You gotta- Never mind, he sucks. Forget it, he sucks.
Yeah, back to the bench.
Yeah, dude. High school golf was the shit. I played a little bit of college golf, but I just did not get along with the guys on the team. I'd be like, it was like Division 3 college golf, and so I'd be like, you know, not taking it that seriously, but I was also um like kind of right away our number one on the team, and there's like guys like getting on my ass about practice and stuff. I was like, come on, fellas, it's D3 college golf. It's not.
Talk
We're all
about
shooting like
practice.
80. We're shooting like 81 out here. It's not the, you know. It's all good. We're all gonna sell insurance. Let's just have a little fun, you know.
That's fun out there. That's what it's about.
We're all gonna do a little bit of, crypto in like 5, 10 years here. So just fucking chill out. All
Oh,
those golf guys are crypto dudes. All those guys at my
man,
team are fucking
I could not have like played every part of crypto wrong. Like I got in and out of it like 3 or 4 times, like just like right at the peak, like
yeah,
worst timing of possible. And then it was like, oh yeah, next time I'll figure it out. No, so now I'm done.
like two. I put like $200 in, and I was like to my girlfriend at the time, I'm like, so we're gonna be good. Don't worry about it.
You 10x it in 3 minutes. You're like, oh, this is my plan now.
Yeah, I think you should quit your job, babe. I think we're gonna be good. Yeah. And so we broke up. But all right, man. What's the first show you ever saw in your life? What's- quit beating around the bush. All right.
It was
Let's get to it.
Dick's 2023, night 3.
That was first show.
First show ever. First show ever.
Cool.
No, my first show ever was a banger of a show. It was Aaron Carter, Lil Bow Wow, and the 18s in Homedale, New Jersey.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't even need to explain that one. I mean, who wouldn't go to that show?
I mean, Lil Bow Wow, that's the first money I ever spent on music, was buying his cassette for my Walkman.
Wow. Cassette, not CD.
Yeah, man, I'm like 10 years older than you. What do you like? You're like
10 or
22,
20?
right?
15.
That's right, you're 15. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm 39, so
Wait, are you actually?
no, I'm 31.
I mean, that's still really old. I'm 30.
Are you though? I was trying to do the almost famous thing. Like, me too. Doesn't the truth just sound different? You're 22, dude.
I feel 22, but I'll take it. Big 3-0.
Speaking of feeling 22,
I'm feeling 22. Also,
is that Taylor show your worst show, or do you have a different worst show?
that Taylor show was not one of my favorite shows. Are we just gonna beat around the bush that we already filmed this once, or are we gonna talk about it?
Listen, I'm gonna mention it a little bit in the intro. I do a little separate intro. Connor was also worried about the intro. He's also like, "Thanks for introing me." I do it separate. It's a whole different thing. I do it alone by myself.
Staring at
But
yourself.
I am gonna make a little mention to it. But yes, for those who are listening, Sean and I did a full complete episode with intros and outros and everything after Goose did their Asbury Park show, the Stone Pony show, as his best show. And Sean had best shows pop up after that show, unfortunately.
Like
You know,
two of them, maybe three.
two, possibly three best shows ever after that. So we're going to talk a little bit about those shows, and then we're going to talk a little bit about recency bias, because that's it's sounding a little
Big.
bit. It sounded a little bit like recency bias, and I feel like people will have that issue with it. So we are going to address that. But yeah, on the hidden episode that no one will ever see or hear ever, you said that there's a Taylor Swift show from this recent Eras tour that was your worst show ever.
Yes,
But
Happy Eras. It was
Happy Eras.
not my favorite show. It was super cool, like production and everything. Just not my cup of tea. Sorry, Taylor. But it wasn't my worst show. I actually thought about it more.
And she is listening to this, by the way.
Yeah, I thought she was filming. That's why I was apologizing. Like right to the.
She's a massive fan of my shit.
Yeah, I figured.
She's always like classic MSG run joke, dude.
Did she do all 7 nights or?
Yeah, she was at all 7 nights, dude. She's like on the rail. She's a problem.
I figured.
Yeah. But she wasn't your worst show.
She was not my worst show. I thought about it more actually this week. I was telling the story of the show to someone, and I think the worst show I ever went to was because it was way more like personally bad. So I went to Firefly Music Festival in Dover, Delaware. I don't even know what year, maybe 2015, 16. And took some extracurriculars, probably more than I should have, and went to see Deadmau5, who I'd never seen or knew anything about.
Sick.
So sick. And I got to the show, and at a festival, like people around you have like totems and stuff, and they're like going like this with them. Everything like starts to kick in, and the music is like super creepy, and my mind just shifts to like, oh my God, everyone around me is an angry mob, and they have these pitchforks, and there's like, I'm in hell right now. Something just like not a good vibe at all. And I was kind of just like standing there holding our totem, like sweating, like trying to keep it together, like make it look like I'm not dying on the inside, like, having a great time, guys. But it was bad. I just had to leave and take myself out of it after a while. And I think that would be my worst show. Yeah, I mean the mob was coming for me. I had to just remove myself from the situation.
You're like, I'm not a part of shit like this, okay? I don't do mobs, bro.
I don't do this. I'm out. So yeah, that was a little worse than Taylor Swift, but not much.
Do you ever are you okay with totems now? Are you able to handle totems around you now?
I love totems. I love a good totem. Like a funny totem, there's nothing better. Yeah. You're just like in the crowd and you spot like something from I Think You Should Leave staring at you. That's how Connor and I met. So can't knock the totems. Did I not tell you that story?
You and that's how you and the Niche met?
Me and the Niche met at Halloween, and we were on the rail with like 5 other people, the only people at Neil Francis's set, while the entire festival was at the main stage at Skrillex. And Connor, Neal, Francis.
Dope. The right one.
And Connor was, I believe Connor was wearing like the Dan Flash's shirt and Crocs, standard issue outfit for him. I had brought my Dan Flash's shirt, but wasn't wearing it. But I had a totem of Dan Flash's with like long wook hair and like goggles. And we just like made eye contact. And then similar to like a show with you, like we just cracked up the entire time and have been friends since.
He fucking geeks me out, dude. He geeks me the fuck out, and we have not met. I mean,
has he reached out to your dad yet? Because I know he talks to Kyle. I think he's close to forming a relationship with your dad.
He's trying to talk to my dad. He's trying to get his email. He wants to go back and forth, talk about that Steely Dan show. But yeah, he'll be like, he'll send me screenshots of him talking to Kyle. I'm like, you talking to Kyle, dude? He's in the family now. He wants in.
Yeah, he's a Herdt boy.
He's a Herdt boy. Well, it's very difficult to pick your best show ever. Obviously, dude. Obviously, it's hard to pick your best show ever. Sometimes they happen all the time. So, what your first best show ever when you came on was the Asbury Park show, as I mentioned before, and you got to meet Rick at that. There's a bunch of really cool. I mean, there's fireworks going on. You're there with a bunch of cool people. But like now, has that moved into the honorable mention category? And do you have honorable mentions like from this recent run or like?
I think it has moved. Yeah.
You've seen an epic summer of shows. That's what happened.
Yeah, it's been a crazy summer. I think it has moved into the honorable mention section. It was the perfect storm of like being with amazing friends, two of my uncles' first shows, bumping into Rick, Jeff wearing a t-shirt I made, Dogs in a Pile, while fireworks are going off. Like it's gonna have to go down as a top 5 show for me for probably forever. It was just incredible. But God, as soon as we stopped that podcast and I went to 7 nights at MSG and 4 Dicks, like I knew I was in trouble.
Yeah.
Had to come back on.
Me a lot. Like we were joking about it at first, and then it was like after one of those nights of MSG, it was like, actually, wait, hold on. We might actually.
Well, it's funny. Like Jeff actually has to do with one of what I think would be tied for my best show ever at MSG, just purely for the story.
Yeah.
It was I think it was the 3rd or 4th night. It was the night that they played Yem. And if you've talked to Connor, you know he's been to like 30 something shows and had not gotten a Yem to that point. And all he wanted to do was see a Yem with me. And that's all literally our only goal for the entire weekend. So
yeah,
caught the first set together, meet up with Jeff at set break, talk to him a bit. And Connor turns to me. He's like, hey, I think I'm going to go catch a couple songs with Jeff. And I was like, yeah, cool. Go like do your thing and I'll see you whenever. And then as they're walking away, I was like, Connor, if you get a Yem without me, I'll fucking kill you. He was like, it won't happen. So go back to the seats. Connor's gone for like 3-4 songs. I'm like, okay, he's just going to spend the entire set over there. It's fine. We'll get our Yem tomorrow.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, in between a song break, he just comes barreling through our row, puts my arm around me, and I was like, dude, you made it back. You're alive. And as soon as the words out of his mouth go, I had to come back. They're about to play Yem. As soon as the M from Yem goes, you hear do 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 do.
Oh my god, dude!
Lost our minds, like crying, hugging. It was like you can't even make that up. It's just
there's no way. And you were about as far from Trey as you could possibly be. There's no way he heard you.
He felt
you were
it.
at the back of the venue. He felt it.
But we were at the back of the venue, but we were straight on. So he probably saw Connor in his brother shirt, like wiggle through. He's like, all right, he's back. It's time. Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Fucking, and then fucking goes into it. That's crazy. And Connor does tell that story a little bit on the pod. He's like that show's. I can't touch that show yet. I don't even know how to talk about how awesome that show was, but I will tell this story. And like, so you get his perspective on that too, which is just. I mean, that's so sick. I mean, people love to call a song, but like, that's smooth. I mean, that's the smoothest call I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, just
Like that.
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. The kid's in the zone. He's fucking.
Yeah, it's a clutch play. Clutch play.
He's in the niche right now. He's within his niche.
The niche is hot right now. It's striking while the iron's hot.
What else is? What else was in that show? Because some of those MSG shows blend together for me. Was that the big like cross-eyed night as well, or was that? What
that
actual night is that?
I might find it really quick. That was
the best part of the show is just kind of like, hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna look this up. Just give me 1 second.
Jamie, can you pull that up?
Yeah, I need a Jamie, dude.
Wait, when did this happen? Well, I'm at SPAC right now. I need MSG. Yeah, we can edit this out. It's fine. Just
yeah, we can edit all. The thing is,
do you do a lot of like editing out shit, or do you just like pretty much let it ride?
There are episodes where I really do have to edit a lot, and there's episodes where I really don't. Like in Jeff's episode and in Aaron's episode from No Simple Road, like my Wi-Fi went out like 3 times, and so they're just like left on the horn, like, "Hello, Cam," which is awesome. That was awesome. In the middle of Jeff's story, like just be like,
in there
on. And so I had to kind of like Frankenstein that episode together a little bit, and same with Aaron's. But like for the most part, I mean, I just let it roll, baby. You know what I mean?
A showbiz, baby.
It is what it is, baby.
Cool.
But
well,
for
then,
real though, yeah.
Edit all that out. Great.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So that'll be edited out. That'll be edited out.
Sure. Edit it out.
Edit that out.
Back to the podcast here. So that was the August 1st show. Yem was the set 2 closer. So I guess Connor came back during Twist. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, that show was just incredible. Ghost opener, Reba, nice Wolfman's. I Am the Walrus was incredible. I'd never heard that from Phish.
Wow.
Sneaking Alley was great. It was just ridiculous.
My older brother has a rule: if you get a twist in a show, it's a good show. That means you got a good show. Every show with a twist is a good show.
I would agree with that. I mean, I'd have to go back and check the math, but like usually it's a good show.
I really truly hope someone looks up. They're like, here's a fucking show with a twist that absolutely fucking sucked. It was rated 3.0. It sucked.
Here's the lowest rated show on Phish.net, and Twist was the opener.
So yeah, what about that, dude? Tell your brother that, dude. I hope we get one of those comments.
But yeah, do you want to talk about this recency bias thing, and then we'll get your best show / my tied best show?
Listen, recency bias is a real thing, but it also what happens if what happens if I just immediately know? What happens if it's immediately top 3 or something? You know, like I texted my brothers after that night 3 Dick show, that Saturday night 3-set fucking awesome ass Phish show with like too many highlights to even remember. You know, like we're like walking back to the car, and I'm like, we got a Reba tonight. I don't even remember that we got, and you know, like
I remember like, Reba.
Listen, I remember the Reba. I texted them. I was like, best show ever, probably, and they were like, you are high, and I'm like, I am, but also, you know, and they're like, you're too close to it. There's no way to know, and I don't know. I think that that's a true thing, being too close to it, but it's also like you, especially within a 3-night run or a 7-night run, like, you know, like a night where you leave and you're like, that was fucking special, right?
Yeah. I mean, you don't get a 6-show encore every show, so there's that.
Yeah.
Or 6-song encore, sorry. I also think it's like this new version of Phish, like actually is getting better, and it feels like every time I see them, they do outdo themselves. And same with Goose. Like the
Yeah.
Philly show I went to in March was like fucking incredible. The echo from that is like one of the best I've ever heard. But then like Asbury Park, all right, out the window. That's the best show. Like I think it is a little bit of them just like finding their groove together and actually like improving.
And this is like just really clearly a hot year. I think that when people go back and listen, they'll be like, wow, 2023 was a really good year for music. But like, do you feel like do you feel like there's room for them to get better and better? Like, do you think 2024 and 2025 are better, or like what? I don't know. What do you think happens? What happens, dude?
I mean, Phish is gonna have to slow down at some point, but like it doesn't feel like they are anytime soon, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I think it could at least like keep going at the level it is. I don't know how much better it can get though. It's just
Right.
insane right now.
They're just really having a lot of fun, and they are working new songs in, and that's like the key. Like
Yeah, the
I
fact
feel
that
like
they're still writing songs like The Well, when I saw that at Philly, I was like, what the fuck is this? This is so cool. Like
I'm jealous of that,
unbelievable.
dude. I want to see a well. I want to see a well really bad. It song's
Well, it was
awesome.
amazing. Well, it was amazing.
Yeah, dude. And same with Goose. I mean, I think that's like the big like knock on Goose fans is that everyone's like, every show's the best show ever and everything's the greatest, and there's no room to like talk shit about them. But right now there kind of isn't too much room to talk shit about them. They're really fucking hot. Every show's really good, dude.
Yeah,
They don't really
it's
lay
insane.
any eggs.
No, none that I've seen at least. The only times I've had bad experiences at Goose shows were like the first couple in New York City when they were playing venues that were just not equipped for the amount of people to be in there. They're just like squished, like trying to listen to
Yeah.
the show. Like, but that's the only thing I could ever complain about at their shows.
Right.
But they're playing the right venues now. So
Big time. Well, let's talk a little bit about that Dick show. I mean, from the jump with the fluff head, I mean, it's almost. I mean, I've never had a fluff head opener, but there felt like there was maybe people there that were like, "This is about to be really huge," because we're getting this fluff head opener, and then it was like a really, really fucking good one, dude.
it was a great fluff head. And it's just like it started the night off. Like we didn't know what kind of night it was going to be, but that should have just been a signal that it was going to be out of hand.
Yeah, and then I didn't expect to start the show next to you guys, but I got to do a little dance party for the section right before I walked up there when I saw you guys. You were hanging up in the stands in like 120. Was that 7 every night?
So that was the only time I was there. The rest of the run, I was in good friend Marina. Shout out to her for letting us hang with her and the crew in what they call the Zog section, which is like just straight on back. It was like
AKA
40,
the Woo
50 people.
Factor.
The Woo Factor, the Poo Factor,
AKA
all
the
of
Poo
them. Yeah.
Factor.
Yeah. Who you need to have on the podcast, by the way. Maybe a Woo Factor Vince double episode or something.
She was
Um,
she's on my little list. I got a little list for season 2. Whenever that happens. I've got no timeline, but I do have a little list. She's
right
on
after this one.
right after this.
But yeah, we were there for the first couple nights. Just amazing section, straight on, like plenty of room. Everyone was super cool. But then the third night was also great. And then seeing you down in GA and then coming up to hang with us, I wasn't expecting that, which was incredible. That's when I knew we had to redo this show. I was like, after I saw a show with you, it was like the first episode is just two nervous guys like buttoned up who don't know each other. But
Like,
now
do you
we've
like Harry Potter, or like what do you like, dude?
oh,
You like Fish, or
what else are you working on?
any
Any
what yeah, so that's
anything
good,
else?
dude. Dude, yeah,
Yeah,
thanks
yeah.
so much for doing it, dude. Honestly, like, really, thank you. Like,
Yeah, super cool to be here, and really love your work, and just
yeah, dude, it's your work, dude.
inspiration.
I love your work. It's just all about. I love your work. I love your shit, dude. I love your shit and your work. Yeah, but now
Yeah.
we've seen the show together, and the show that we saw together. You texted me. It was hard to meet up at Dick's on Thursday and Friday. Like reception's bad in there, and also like I just wasn't going a lot until like pretty late because it was so hot every day. But on Saturday, you're like, "Can we watch Phish together tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I'm gonna
Yeah, we
give up
can.
my spot on the floor, and I'm gonna go watch it in the stands with my boy and this fucking dude."
Max, shout out Max. Hell yeah.
Mini dabs. There's this guy in Sean's group, like he like comes in. First of all, it's just a cartoony guy. He like walks at separate. He comes, he's like, "What's up, brother?" He like fucking like comes in,
The
and then he's
classic
like,
guy.
he's just a classic fucking guy. And like he comes in, he's like, "Someone taught me this at a party recently. They're doing mini dabs. Like dabs aren't cool anymore, but we have mini dabs." And then I couldn't even look. I couldn't even look
I
back
couldn't
at
look at
him
him.
or
I
at
couldn't.
you the whole show.
And then the fact that we had like you mentioned, there was no service there, so like being on lot and stuff was like a nightmare. But like the fact that we had the walkie-talkies just worked so well. It was incredible. And then
You
the
like
one
walk in
night
during the show, you're like, "We got a cavern." Everyone boogie down for the cavern.
well, the one night, two of the guys in that crew were just like messing around, like just they were standing right next to each other, and they were like, "Hey, hey, 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 love you," like doing it. And then a random voice that was just on that channel, we still have no idea who it was because no one has owned up to it, and no, it couldn't have been anyone that like also had the walkies. This random voice just comes on and is like, "Hey, can you guys please stop talking during this song?" Just like thinking it was a
Cop.
friend. It was a cop, a narc.
Who's like now in love with
I
Fish. They're like, "Hey, can you shut the fuck up?" I'm like kind of in the zone over here. Can
kind
you
of
stop?
enjoying this, and you guys are squawking.
You're squawking, dude. Bunch of squawks.
Um, Also love the fact that like after we caught that show together, you're like, "Oh, like so you know all these guys from Jersey and stuff." It's like, nope, just met them yesterday. Great crew.
Hey, it just like it felt like you guys had known each other for a long time, and I'm sure to those guys, it felt like you and I had known each other for a long time, and that's not true for either thing. We have
Yeah, yeah.
barely known that was we just met like earlier that week.
That's becoming my favorite part of like this whole scene and Phish shows is like you just meet people and it's like one hangout and you're like, all right, this is a friend for life. It's insane. You don't really get that anywhere else.
Yeah. If you like fish, I like you. Like I who like we're buds probably. Um that's not true of everyone that we met at Dick's. There where there's that one guy that walked up and he was just like, "Hey man, I like your stuff. I don't love it, but I like it."
He's not sold, but he's almost.
He's
He's like
like, "Listen."
85%.
He's like, "You're pretty much the Goose of the internet right now, and I don't like Goose, and I don't like you." And
Uh,
you had some people
um,
coming up to you for your stuff too. How's that feel? Is that weird or is that cool?
it was cool. I mean, the best one was the back-to-back guy at the end when we were just sitting. The house lights are on and everyone looks green for some reason in Dick's every time. I don't know why that
What?
happens, but it's freaky. But just sitting there waiting to do the next move, go to the disco ball pit, the grassy knoll, and
We
the
sat
guy
for
just
so
recognized
long.
me, and yeah, yeah, that guy
We
recognized
sat
me
forever.
first, and then gave him a sticker, and then like as he was walking away, it was like, "Wait, you're the guy!" Did the whole song and dance with you too.
I fucking know you too, dude. Oh shit.
Oh
No
shit!
fucking way, dude. Dude, I make these fucking
Dude, no
prints, dude.
fucking way, dude.
No fucking way, bro. I make these fucking prints, dude. And they were sick. The
it was
prints were
actually a
fucking sick.
sick print. Yeah, it was a
And I
really
was
cool
like,
print.
"Damn, those are sick." And he was like, "Thanks, bro." Oh, fuck.
I don't know why we gave him a Philly accent, but he now has a Philly accent.
He did not have a Philly accent. He was not from Philly at all. But that's what. Oh fuck, bro! Like that just kind of
Oh,
comes out.
fucking shit.
No way, dude. That's how that comes out
Oh.
sometimes.
Um,
What else happened in that show, dude? We got a
yeah, I was
mom.
just
That
gonna
was
say,
sick.
should we keep talking about the actual show? Like I guess we should talk about what happened during Reba. Because that was something.
Yeah.
That was something. So I have a thing that I'm very good at, and that is going to pee during Reba and making it back before the jam. I've done it so many times I can't even count. So our
Oh my
section was
fucking.
like perfect for this too, because all you had to do was walk up the stairs and the bathroom's right there and go back down. So Reba comes on, go do my thing. Actually, I think I turned to you first and was like, "Do you think I should go pee?" And you're like, "I don't know. How bad do you have to pee?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go." Went up the stairs in record time, peed, even got like a crispy beer, and it was well before
Oh,
the jam. And I just turned around, and I think a lot of things hit me at once, and
yeah.
just zoom out. I was like, I don't know where I am, and ended up for the entire jam of Reba, just like walking down different aisles, like staring at people, like, is that Cam's?
Doing this thing. You're doing the guy. This guy
And
in
they're
the
just
crowd.
watching this guy with a walkie-talkie, like stare at them, like looking around, and like, oh god. So I pretty much gave up after like 4 or 5 rows, and was walking to go like find Marina and crew. I was like, at least I know where they are. I'll go watch the show with them because I'll never see Cam and crew again. And then I was like, let me just go down this one more aisle. I'll just try it. And I would go down a couple steps and just see you like
Yeah. I
like
spotted you
holy
right
shit.
away.
Thank
What's
God.
up, buddy?
Yeah. So
Yeah, dude.
thank you
And
for that.
and by that point, a lot of the jam had happened.
Like
It
90% of it, I would say.
pretty much all of it. They didn't do a vocal. They didn't do the whistling, and so I guess that. But you would have pretty much just gotten the whistling.
Yeah.
But you made it back for the mound, dude.
Made it back to the mound.
And then I end up doing that later in the show. My buddies who I was with during the show and stayed with, they stayed down on the floor and they would kind of like there was like those big sound pillars that were like right and left of uh the soundboard. And I would, kind of use those as like a buoy, and those guys would be like really close to that. And same thing, dude. I was with you the whole first set. I went over and said hi to some friends for the for this for the set break, and you and I had been laughing so hard and been goofing so hard, like I was like wiping tears from my eyes even just walking over to my other friends. And we were having fun, but they were just not in the same space. And I was like, "Oh, I think I'm being a little too goofy for these guys." And things started hitting me really fast as well. And so like I watched The Bag with those guys. I watched a lot of the Chalk Dust Torture. I watched the Ether Edge. I
Unfinished.
called it yep. I watched the Ether Edge, which I call something completely different. I think I called it Torn and Frayed, which is a Rolling Stones album and not the name of the song. And
I
then
see the mix
and
up.
then and then I during that tried to go down to the floor and find my friends, and absolutely impossible. Just not. And they were like, "We were right along the rail." I was like, "I bet you were," but there was no possible chance I was about to find you. And then I
You
did
made
the
it back.
same little.
You made it back for the howling though, right? I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. I,
Yeah.
I came back during the 46 days and
Right.
did the same little dance you did, like went down a couple different sections. I was like, oh no, no, that's not them. And then saw your friend Suze, the girl you had met the night before, and she did the same thing. She like pointed me out, and I was like, oh, if you didn't, if you didn't stop me, I was going home alone tonight.
You're gone.
I was about to
Shout out
surrender to the
Suze.
flow. Shout out Suze. Thank you for saving me.
We'll bring her down a peg when we talk about the egg in a hole she called during the show.
Yeah, she did call it egg in a hole. It was Don't Doubt Me.
Fair
Like,
though. Sounds a little similar. I didn't know it was "Don't Doubt Me." I didn't know the song, so
we got one of those at the Berkeley run, and we were not interacting well with the mushrooms that we had taken, and we were not liking the start of that second. We did not like the set list or the set break, and we did not like the start of the second set. But at this show, this Don't Doubt Me, I was like fucking
it was
loving it,
good.
dude.
Yeah, it was
I was
good.
getting down to the Don't Doubt Me. Somebody
And then
clean that up.
somebody clean that up. By the way, Max was saying that over the walkie-talkie the entire time. After just somebody clean that up.
I love it with a little mini dab.
Yeah, you could hear the mini dab on the other side. We did glaze over your first Piper. How did you like that?
Got myself a Piper finally. I was like, thank you. I knew this Dick's weekend would not do me wrong and it would yield a Piper. And it was a really fucking good one.
It was a good Piper.
Um, yeah, set closing Piper. With a show opening Fluffhead. I was like, it's going to be really hard for me to not rank this show really high. And we were just having so much fun, dude. It was just like one of those
Oh,
shows where like, yeah, you're just
my
like with the
cheeks.
best crew of people.
There was a point where I was just like massaging my jaw. I was laughing so hard. And then I
Yeah.
like you were here and Meg and Suze were here and Max and friends are behind me and I like couldn't look at anyone because I would just start laughing. So just looking forward, like I'm gonna stare
Yeah.
and not laugh. It was
I'm
hard.
like, it was like, and I was also like getting in my head in like the best way. I just kept thinking of funny shit or like the shit that you were just saying was making me laugh. And I'm like trying to focus on the show, but I'm just like, yeah, laughing my ass off. And it was like that situation where like we're kind of on the side. And so all of you guys are like behind me. And I'm just up in the front by myself, just like, like just
It was
fucking
a
geeking out, dude.
giggle
Yeah. I
fest.
mean, just a great crew of people and an awesome show. And like during this encore, you know, people like
Absolutely
after
absurd.
it was absolutely absurd. I mean, people just kept being like, "What? Like we're getting another song?" And like, I kept leaning over to you and saying other firsts too. I was like, first Mango song, first Golgi
Yeah.
apparatus. I mean, yeah.
Oh, we
I just
how would that evolve though? That evolve. We were going nuts.
was I was throwing ass to
First
evolve,
came the
dude.
light.
I was fucking blowing my back out to fucking evolve.
Throwing
Okay, so there's a
elbows.
moment. This is the funniest. I I thought about this the rest of the night, dude. So like I said, I'm in front. All our whole group is kind of like in behind me, and during evolve, like the energy kind of got sucked out of the room. People were very still during Evolve. There was a lot of like very still people in the audience, just kind of looking forward, kind of just letting the Evolve wash over them. And I leaned to say something to Sean, and you're like getting down,
First
like
came
you
the
get
light. Then came the sound. I'm just
like that, like
losing
that
my
soccer
mind.
gif of that little kid who like stands up and like picks his shirt off and like goes like that. Like that's what you were doing, and that that made me I lost my mind laughing at that. I thought that was so funny to get down so hard to evolve.
Evolve is
Dude,
special for me
honestly,
because my friend Ross, like every time they play it, would just like call me and sing the lyrics. And he called me. He was at Dick's and called me. First he texted me, if they play Evolve and I'm not with you, we're done. And then like 10 seconds
oh,
later, they start playing it, and he just calls me and he's screaming the lyrics.
oh
Uh,
man. It's such a good song. It's such a Tom song. It just puts a smile on my face. And I also knew that we weren't done. Like that was such a big night that like
you
I was
had to
like,
know
"Yeah."
that they weren't going to end with that. Yeah,
And I really thought they were gonna end with Golgi Apparatus. Like that's a cool one that they don't play all the time, maybe once or twice a tour. And then when they started the run like an envelope, like people like bent over, like, exhausted at how awesome
yeah.
the show was. I think people were trying to get out of there. And they're like,
It was like
well,
a punch in the face, but a good one. I don't know if you
there
noticed
was
that
like,
I'm a big double glow stick during the show kind of guy, do something with my hands. And that encore, like, I think I threw them as if the show was over like 4 times. And I was like, well, I got to find 2 more. It's great.
Yep.
And then the egg in a hole mango song was just uncanny. Like that day we had like created alias for each other, like over the walkie-talkies, and mine was Mango Sean, Susie Jacuzzi, Muscle Max, and Meg in a Hole. So when we thought they did Mango song into Egg in a Hole, we were just losing our minds. And then a minute in, we're like, wait,
wait a minute.
This is not it.
Well, I literally told Matt Bush, manager of Bob Weir and very fucking cool guy, that Ether Edge was torn and frayed. So, and he's like,
it is now, forever.
I mean, I'm like I can't sleep since doing that. I'm like in bed, like, fuck, oh no, oh god, I called it torn and frayed to Matt Bush. It's not good. So
you get PTSD, start hearing the choppers behind you every time you think about it.
I was like, I'm pretty sure it's torn and frayed. He's like, really? Okay, well, you're a fucking idiot. So yeah. Okay. Good luck with your little podcast, you dork. You don't even know the songs. No, truly, no one around us knew the songs. Like everyone around us was like, "What song is Ether Edge?" But hey, good song.
It is a good song. Yeah, I mean, after just like recapping that show, I mean, that might take the cake. Just too many good, funny moments and great music.
We sat in our seats that we sat in that section until, I mean, we were probably the last people out of the whole stadium. We just did not want to get up from that night, and then like just went and sat on the hill near the ball pit car and just was like, that was awesome. And then like lean over to someone else
and was
like,
sick.
That was awesome.
Did you like that? Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, I thought it was sweet. Actually, everyone, did the classic come out of the show and be like, yeah, that show sucked, At least I was doing that
funny.
bit. Best bit in the world after a good show. Say it sucked. Oh man. That's classic comedy right there.
I've seen better. Yeah, good times.
Really fucking good times. And then I took an Uber home with the guys that I was staying with, and we did not say a word the whole way home. We just
dead
sat.
silence.
This Uber driver just picked up 5 dudes, and drove them a half hour to nothing. There was no music. There was no words in the car.
There's nothing you can say after that. Like, you're just processing what you just saw.
When I first saw them, I was like, sorry, I never met back up with you guys. And they're like, when were you supposed to leave? Like, when were you supposed to come? Like, there was no time to get up, and it was just a bunch of really cool highlights and great jams throughout the whole thing. We didn't even we were going to meet up with Ryan Storm. We are going to take a really cute picture.
I know. I feel bad. I wanted to meet up with him so badly, but that show happened and just did not let go of us for 1 minute.
Yeah, especially because we both got lost. We're like, we're not leaving again. That's
yeah. Well, you get lost once, you kind of be like, I'm gonna sit here for a bit.
I like just sitting and chilling, honestly.
Yeah, I'm a seats guy.
Yeah. And
so
that was my first
back. That was mine as well. Yeah, that was.
Man,
I would like to go back for sure. So you went back in the Uber. I went to the Paul Simon dance party, which was light years better than I thought it was supposed to be. I didn't look up like any of the details. I was just like, yeah, I'm in, I'll go. And I thought it was going to be a guy like DJing Paul Simon shows or Paul Simon songs and whatnot. It was like a full band, like
actually Paul Simon.
It was just Paul Simon up there.
It was no just one else. Paul Simon beatboxing.
Yeah, and it was sick. He's so good at beatboxing.
No, I mean, there was a lot of really good after shows. I mean, like, there's always cool after shows after Phish runs, but I felt like Colorado was popping.
Yeah, Cervantes is a great
Cervantes, that was a good after party. They had chips and queso. I had no complaints.
Chips and queso. Fuego.
It was so fuego. Brought those chips and queso on the dance floor. Nobody wanted any. It was weirding people out and making the vibe uncomfortable. So it's like, okay,
Who's that guy in the back with the chips?
over the walkie. Yeah, there's a guy with chips on the floor.
Is that fucking queso he brought on the dance floor? Jesus Christ, over.
I think that's that Instagram guy. Makes the fucking mid-ass videos.
Uh, yeah, Cervantes is cool though. It was
That was a little bit of music from Jesus and Fartfinger, and also a really fun conversation with my boy Sean, LongStrangePutt. Man, we really did have a blast at that show at Dick's. Dick's showed us a great time the first time out there. I will be going back to Dick's Sporting Goods Park every single Labor Day for the foreseeable future. It was too much fun. Follow Sean on everything. He's Long Strange Putt. He's LSP on Twitter or X or whatever we call it now. The guy's funny and he sells cool stuff and he makes cool logos and he is a good guy. It's not easy to find these days. And we are not the same guy. I think a lot of people think that I might be Putt and he might be me. However, lucky for you, there's two separate guys. So thank you so much for listening to this episode of these two separate guys talking about one of the best shows we've ever seen together. There's other episodes like Connor's episode, Long Strange Niche, that you should be watching right now as you're getting done with this. There's a bunch of other episodes that are already out with some really great music journalist people, friends of the pod, if you will. And there's more episodes coming out soon, so look out for those. Thanks for listening. Subscribe if you are so inclined. And until next time, guys, have a great show.